Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about a rumor that there is a bit of an internal spat going on at Marvel Studios right now over the future of the X-Men, that there are some people at Marvel Studios that want the X-Men to be quote unquote woke, or at least more socially attuned than maybe the Fox films, whereas we have another part of the company that would like to just see it be an action franchise, because Deadpool and Wolverine made a ridiculous amount of money, and that might be the way to go, just saying. So we're going to talk about that. Again, this is a rumor, and it's not our rumor, so we're just going to give commentary on that rumor. So before we get into it any further, guys, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, and then we'll be right back. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, Fume. Fume is not another vape. It's not an e-cig. It's not a nicotine product. If it was, I would not be recommending them to you. I wouldn't. We have family members that had bad habits and bad experiences because of those bad habits, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you. It's something totally different. It's a simple, satisfying way to replace your bad habit without inhaling anything harmful. If you're stuck in a bad habit, maybe it's just something you reach for during a stressful moment, hanging out with your friends or out of boredom. You don't want to do that. Let's talk about Fume. It's a game changer. There's no smoke, no vapor, no nicotine, just natural flavored air that gives you something to reach for without the chemicals. Again, without chemicals. They've done studies, no chemicals. Sometimes breaking a habit isn't just about willpower. It's about having something better to reach for instead. Fume gives you an alternative, and it's not just about the flavor. It has a magnetic, fidget-friendly design that keeps your hands busy and your mind engaged. I actually tend to fidget with stuff when I record videos. It's just kind of how I am. I always have to be doing something, but you don't want to do something that's harmful for your body, right? There are a lot of flavors you can choose from, including crisp mint, tons of options from citrusy to earthy to refreshing. If you order the Journey Pack using my code ClownfishTV, you'll get a free Fume topper. So if you've been thinking about changing your habit, this is the perfect first step. Go to tryfume.com/clownfishtv. That's F-U-M, so it's TRYFUM.com/clownfishtv, or scan the QR code on the screen to grab yours today. Thank you so much, Fume, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. All right, guys, we're back. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And this is Clownfish TV. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, if you do, you'll get a woohoo.
Woohoo.
There you go. So get more woohoos. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button, guys. So this is coming from Cosmic Book News. We're going to take a look at this rumor. X-Men, Feige battling Disney over action versus social commentary.
Yeah, so a person that was on Twitter, I can't remember what the name of the account was, something middleman.
Main middleman. Okay.
Was talking about something that they've been hearing. And apparently, where Bob Iger wants to see things go back to more like, Deadpool and Wolverine, just fun action Marvel films like we're used to. Feige wants to push for, let's talk about what it means to be a mutant and social, commentary on things. And it's like, but that's worked so damn well for you so far, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Marvel's Captain America Brave New World did gangbusters, didn't they?
Yes. I mean, look, if any Marvel franchise would get a pass, I think, for maybe having a little more social commentary, it would be the X-Men. I'll give you that. Longtime X-Men fan here. That being said, first and foremost, when X-Men was at its most popular, it was an action comic. It had the social commentary as
both.
Right. But now, like, you compare the X-Men of the 1980s to the X-Men now. The X-Men now, they basically stand around and talk about social commentary and plants and, the bigots and the racists and whatever. And it's like, it's boring as fuck. And that's why it's not selling super well compared to what it used to sell. I mean, X-Men #1, Jim Lee's X-Men #1 is still the best-selling single issue of a comic book ever. 8 million some copies of it. And that's when X-Men were at their peak. And Disney, for some reason, just wants to keep running the opposite direction. Like, I don't understand. Like, the blueprints there. I was listening to Rob Servations, that's Rob Liefeld's podcast, and he said the groundwork was laid. Like, you had somebody at the company, Bo DeMeo, who actually understood the X-Men, and he got it all right. He got the whole thing right. The social commentary and the action, and the characters were true to themselves, and all the interpersonal drama and all that stuff. And they got rid of him, for reasons. But like, that's what you need to be doing. That's what people expect from the X-Men. And I have a feeling if Feige gets his way, we're not gonna get.
Well, they're saying Feige's not getting his way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you go down, it has what he said. Go here, scroll down, and you'll find it.
Okay.
This part here in gray, that's everything this guy pretty much said. So you go ahead and read that. But it does not sound like Feige's winning because Iger's in charge. And here's the thing: we've mentioned this before. For every hit you have, like for every, Inside Out 2 or Moana 2 or, Deadpool Wolverine, those movies might make money, but it's completely lost. It's completely flushed on all the other movies that you have losing money. And they can't afford to just keep, doing stuff to be nice and then flushing all the money. But it's okay because you got a social commentary film. They need butts in the seats. They need a mass appeal, audience for these IP, and they're not. They've been actively chasing fans away, and that's in Star Wars too. So they have to do something.
Yeah,
Iger needs it to make profit. Like you said, they're not going to throw away money just for the goodness of their heart anymore.
No, that worked for a while. That these movies were getting greenlit, but now we're seeing that, again, years of box office failure after box office failure. Investors are asking questions. They almost lost control of the company. Nelson Peltz came in and was like, yeah, you guys are failing year after year after year. And you can trace a lot of it, not all of it, but you can trace a lot of it back to a lot of the socially charged, politically charged movies getting greenlit and shows getting greenlit and people tuning out.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I will give more of a pass to the X-Men than I would other franchises, just like I would give more of a pass to Star Trek than I would other science fiction franchises, because those series have always had that angle.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like they're first and foremost entertainment, right?
Right. They were clearly based on, social commentary situations, but they did it like the pill and the ice cream, not the,
suppository.
Giant suppository with no lube. There's a difference.
All right, so this is the rumor. We took the long way around, but Feige wanted a more grounded X-Men story with a plot that really focused on social issues and disagreements about what it means to be a mutant. Oh boy, that sounds like a lot of fun. He wanted a powerful, dramatic movie that really showed what the X-Men were all about, with the Brotherhood of Mutants as the bad guys. See also the first X-Men movie.
I know, it does sound like the first X-Men movie.
But that's not what Iger and Disney want. Yeah, they want another $1.6 billion or whatever they made off of, Deadpool and Wolverine. Aware of the poor performance of more restrained films, especially Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts, the script has been requested to focus on a great event film to get a wider audience attention. So expect the MCU's first X-Men movie to be huge on events, focusing on the box office with more action and fan service. Okay, ideological issues will carry on, but they will be less important than dealing with something bigger. Thank you. That's what the comics did as well.
Iger thinks winning, but he's in charge. He's the boss. Ultimately, he's the one that's in charge of the budget for Marvel and what they can and can't do.
Yeah, right. And he might just be like, maybe he just needs to be, maybe Iger, maybe he just wasn't paying attention. Maybe
I don't know, but Feige was such a damn puss that in the She-Hulk movie, they completely mocked him. And the lady that was in charge, the showrunner of that show, joked that she would bully Feige because she could. Because he wouldn't say anything back to her because she was a woman or whatever. And it's like, so this is what the kind of a puss you're dealing with.
I dare them to put Asian Psylocke in that movie. I dare you, Disney, because that.
They put Psylocke in, they get butts in the seats.
Well, the problem is they nerf Psylocke now. So the story with Psylocke, for those of you who are not X-Men fans, is that she started out as a British woman, and then she got transformed into an Asian assassin. And when she was most popular, she was the Asian assassin.
Yeah.
And now they've transformed her back into the British woman because it's problematic.
They transferred her back into the British woman.
Yes, because it's problematic to have her cosplaying as an Asian.
Okay, I didn't know they transferred her back. I only knew her from when she was the Asian.
And she was awesome. Psylocke is
really popular then. Yes.
What in the 90s, she was one of the most popular characters. Psylocke, Gambit. I mean, if they like,
well, Gambit's probably gonna be in it. I mean,
yeah. If they go with the 90s lineup, and and they kept the costumes like they did with Deadpool and Wolverine. They kept the costumes similar. They kept the personalities intact. You basically followed, I agree with Liefeld here, you followed the blueprint that was laid out by X-Men 97, kept those characters intact, and you followed what worked in the 90s. Money in the bank.
What, no orgies on the moon or whatever that was?
No orgies on the moon. Money in the bank. Butts and seats, money in the bank. Sentinels blowing shit up. Freaking just batshit crazy spandex mutant action. Yeah, you want to get the reason that
an orgy on the moon.
Okay, so basically, yeah, just a violent orgy on the moon. So the reason that the Bryan Singer movies were so kind of a low key affair is they had to be done on a budget, right? They were shoestring budget, like because when the X-Men came out, superhero movies were pretty dead at that point. Like Batman and Robin like killed the superhero movie business dead, and they didn't have much of a budget to work with. So the X-Men movie looked basically like a CW show.
It kind of did, yeah.
You know, it was very kind of low rent. I mean, the casting was great.
They had to
overall
prove it.
It was good.
They had to prove it to get the budget.
Yeah, but we still haven't gotten. Really, we haven't gotten like comic book accurate Rogue.
Oh, I didn't say we did. I just said they got better budget from after the first movie.
Well,
so.
they're okay. You want to get butts in seats? That's how you get rid of Brie Larson from the MCU. Like, come see the X-Men movie because Rogue is gonna drain her powers. We're gonna put her in a coma, and we're never gonna mention her again. Come on, guys.
People probably look up. Hey, well, they got rid of Taskmaster in spoiler in the Thunderbolts. If you don't know that yet, then I'm sorry. Right off the bat, because people didn't like it.
I thought you said Assmaster at first.
No, that's the orgy on the moon.
That's the orgy on the moon.
Or something Bryan Singer likes. But that's a whole other story.
They call me the Assmaster. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. And then the other problem they're facing is the fact that you have. They want to bring back the MCU. Besides the fact that Kevin Feige, wanted to do this, and he have to step over Kevin Feige. You have the whole issues too with like Pedro Pascal, for example, because he's becoming Rachel Zegler 2.0, and he's got the Fantastic Four First Steps as your Reed Richards coming out, and he's in The Mandalorian too, and he's out there making all kinds of political statements and pontificating and everybody kissing his ass. And so every time someone does, it just emboldens him to be further and further and further. And he's taking it too far. So they want people to come back to Marvel. Besides the fact that they have to bring movies back to what they were, they're also going to have to do more to control the mouths of people like Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, whoever you hire, and I have to wonder, I really have to wonder going forward, because Disney can draw a direct line between dumb shit their actors say and do to their box office taking a hit. I have to wonder if going forward, Disney isn't going to muzzle a lot of their cast and just be like, you do this movie with a smile on your face and keep your mouth shut, and you can, comment a little bit here and there, but here's what you can't say because we're trying to, make this movie stick in China or whatever. And they've had so many examples of actors, directors, writers, whatever, doing damage. I mean, even Shang-Chi, like that movie was like dead on arrival in China, and same with the Eternals, and they created those to pander to China.
Yep.
Because the actors and the directors were running at the mouths.
Well, China, the director on Eternals, they didn't like her.
Yeah, they didn't like her, and they didn't like Simu Liu. They thought he was ugly. I guess.
They thought he was ugly. Yeah,
and he was trash talking the CCP. So yeah, it's not gonna fly. It's like, well, you should have got John Cena. He would have been all about it.
And he would apologize to you. And
he apologized to you in Mandarin until you come see the movie. You know what? It'd be a huge hit.
He apologized. I can't remember.
Yeah, he apologized to Mandarin because he made a faux pas about Taiwan. I guess was.
So what's this rumor swirling? They were gonna re-swap Professor X and
at
Magneto.
least. Yeah, there was. Now this is an older rumor. They said that if they were going to go with the more social angle, that they were basically going to play up Professor X and Magneto being Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And I'm like,
are you kidding me?
Do we want to?
Oh my
go
God!
there?
Do not go there.
Do we really want to go there? Like that's
no, we don't really want to go there.
And honestly, I'm going to tell you, if you race swap those characters, people are going to draw that connection, and it's going to meet. I mean, I'm not saying like, look, if you get the right person for the right part, that's like I thought Giancarlo Esposito would have been a really good Professor X.
Yes, and you've mentioned that before.
I mentioned that before, but he's a really good actor or whatever. It's not obviously it's not just being done for shock value or whatever. But if you do that, you've got if you've got a black Magneto, a black Professor X, and they're talking like King and Malcolm X, like it's going to be. There's going to be so much baggage that's going to come with this movie right out of the gate that I don't know. I mean, if you're getting a general audience, you want a general audience to come see it and come just watch the X-Men fight the giant robots, which is what I think would probably be your best bet. Doing that's not a good idea. Not in the first movie anyway, going all in on that. But they're also talking Daniel Day-Lewis for Magneto, which I think would be fantastic. Bryan Cranston is Professor X. See also Zordon, but whatever. I don't know, guys. This one's going to be, they have to get this right. The X-Men, for those of you who were not reading comics in the 80s and 90s, the X-Men was the biggest thing at Marvel.
Oh, and for the love of God, do not cast Cynthia Erivo as Storm.
Oh, I think that'd be terrible. But I
do
mean,
not.
But a lot of times the casting choices are just, who's making money at the box office right now. So we'll cast them. I mean, you want somebody that's got a lot of baggage attached to it. Like, she definitely will be one that will go out there and start running at the mouth, I think.
Not.
I think she's talented. I think she's an amazing singer. I think she's a very, very good singer. But I totally could see her just, like, going down that road. And, like, the years leading up to this movie just constantly going on about how political it's going to be, even if it isn't. Just because, that's her takeaway.
She doesn't need to hold space as Storm, so...
She's too skinny. She needs a couple cheeseburgers.
No, we're not.
Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys, and thanks to our sponsor. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.